panellists, please. Straight up ourselves. No embargo on any of this up from Warren or Alun Wyn. Any questions? Dan, John, Chris?
Warren, an unchanged team from the opening win. Were there any tough selections? Anyone in particular who were pushed for a recall?
Look, we had a good debate about the loose forwards. Whether we started Ross Moriarty, that was a discussion, but we felt we wanted to give that team an opportunity. That we thought they played pretty well, particularly in the first half, and so it was kind of felt in the end it wasn't fair to drop anyone. We thought Wyn Jones scrummaged exceptionally well. I thought our scrum was very good against Georgia, considering that they probably come to this World Cup thinking that they had one of the strongest scrums, so we were pleased with that aspect, and really just building on that first game with the short turnaround, the 6 days, and really excited about Sunday night.
One change on the bench. Can you talk us through why Owen Watkins in?
Owen has been coming off the bench for us and has done a good job, and Hadley Parks has a small fracture in his hand as well, so he hasn't taken much of a part in training this week. So it's really to make sure that we've got cover there, that if that hand does give him problems during the match, that we can make a change.
And just in terms of the match, just how important is it for your World Cup campaign? You've spoken about different paths to the final. Just how decisive could this game be for you?
Yeah, we haven't really looked too far ahead. If you do get out of the group, and the quarterfinals are all going to be pretty tough games, quarterfinals and semi-finals. So it's really about taking one game at a time and trying to build and create momentum. And we feel like we're a team that are capable of doing that. As the longer we go on in tournaments, we feel like we get better and more cohesive. And pretty good start in the first game. And it's going to be a tough Australian team, but we've had some close battles over recent years, and we were lucky enough to get a hard-fought win last autumn. And we've trained well this week, so guys definitely gone up a notch in terms of intensity and trainings and stuff, and focused minds. So I think it's going to be a great game.
What about that rivalry with Australia? You've had that losing run. Does that have any bearing on this, and how much has that dynamic changed as a result of that win in November? Oh, I
think losing games in the last minute and half a dozen contests was a bit demoralising, but we really focused on last year's autumn campaign. It was important for us, the two big games against Australia and South Africa, and Australia was definitely one that we went in there with the focus of righting some of the wrongs, so to speak, and coming away with a win. It was a typical old-fashioned Test match. There wasn't much given by both sides. The defence tended to dominate that game, but we were lucky enough to come out on top.
Warren, what's your initial take on Australia's side? Are you surprised that they've changed their halves and benched Beal upfield?
I think with Beal out, they lose a bit of the attacking threat, and he's definitely a real attacking threat for them. But as in the past, he'll probably come off the bench reasonably early, and he'll be a handful for us. I think with Foley there, they'll probably kick a bit more than they have been. The kicking percentages have been pretty low in recent internationals, so we expect them to kick a bit more, and probably the back three, and with Foley and Guinea as well, they're probably trying to negate some of our kicking threat as well. We're pretty good with Bigger at 10, and we've been pretty good in the air as well, and it's probably where we got an advantage over them last November, so I think they're aware of that. So it wasn't too dissimilar to where we thought. We probably didn't think Foley was going to start, but he's probably his experience and his running threat in the 22, something that we're going to have to keep an eye on.
Warren, over your career at Wales, you said that you've been frustrated with your record against the Southern Hemisphere side. What do you think is going to be different this weekend to try and change that?
I think it's something that I don't think about too much in terms of. I'm all about competitions, and it's about Six Nations. That's what's important for us. In the autumn, it gives us an opportunity to try things and develop things. so yeah, we have been disappointed in the past. Our record against South Africa, I think, in recent years has been exceptional. Obviously, the All Blacks are another story for us. But like I said, we really focused last autumn on that campaign being, very important for us in terms of confidence and momentum and building to the Six Nations and building to this World Cup as well. So, it was a different focus for us. So, just put those games behind us, the ones that we've had those close losses with, and the run that we had, and the 14 wins in a row, and the Grand Slam, and the game against Georgia. We just got to build from that and build confidence, and we think we're going quite nicely at the moment.
There's been a lot of noise in the Australian camp about the Reece Hodge situation. Do you think that would have affected them at all this week?
Don't know. It's not something I even thought about.
Your decision making on defence has been impressive. You've got a fit-looking side. How important is it, or is it a key focus for you guys this week, given the threats that the Aussies have got to keep dominating defensively?
Yeah, it's important. One of their strengths, so they're pretty good at coming off 9. They get some forward momentum, and when they get forward momentum, that's when their attacking threats really come into fruition. So we've got to be good up front. We've got to stop that momentum runners off Guinea. So that's been a real focus for us. They like to run a lot of inside balls as well off 10, and just making sure that inside we're nice and square and coming forward as well. So look, we've worked hard defensively, and for us line speed's always really important as well, and try not to get some of the big ball carriers too much time on the ball too.
Did the text from Kevin Jenkins ever arrive?
Yeah.
And will there be another one this week?
I don't know if there'll be another one this week, but there wasn't as much comedy involved as the one last week. So, but no, he's very gracious, and it did come.
And obviously it's a big game for the team and a big one for yourself this week.
Yeah, I think on a personal level, it's nice for myself and my family, but there's a much bigger picture, which is the game. I don't think anybody's going to be worried about the numbers on the stat sheets during the game, and that's my focus, and that's how I'll continue.
Alun, how different is a 4:45 kick-off going to be compared to the evening when you had last time? Is it significantly different in the afternoon?
We did a later session yesterday. We're doing another later one today, and it's a lot cooler up here than it was down there. So, and it was the first hit out, so we've, I'd like to think we've got that out of our system. So yeah, it's been good. We're prepared for it, and like I say, raring to go.
Warren, you've got Pocock and Hooper out there sort of trying to dominate the breakdown. Is that why you've got Tipperett and Navidi in the mix, or you have had for the sort of cup?
Yeah, we did a good job last year on Hooper. I think he had about 12 attempts against us trying to steal the ball, and he didn't get any. Pocock was a different story. He had 10 and got 5 turnovers. So he's a big threat for us. It's something that we need to make sure we focus on. He's pretty good at picking his timings when he does go for the ball and a turnover. So, two definite real threats at the breakdown. But we're pretty happy with our loose forwards in terms of their ball carrying, their physicality as well. And, they're all capable of playing 6, 7 and 8 as well, pretty similar to Australia.
Is this the biggest test so far for Alun Wyn, right, Warren, going up against this guy?
Yeah, it is a big test for us and for him. He was only 22 the other day. Look, he's got a massive amount of potential, and we did have a discussion about that, because he's been very effective for us coming off the bench and as the game breaks up a bit and giving us an impact. But we just felt he deserved that opportunity after that first game, and hopefully we're looking for him to be a bit more vocal. We want him to get his hands on the ball, because I don't think people realise just how explosive and powerful he is. He's going to be, some player in a few years, and we just got to give him that confidence and self-belief that, he's able to perform at this level. Considering someone's, only 12 months ago at his first international, he's really made a huge amount of progress. But we still see a lot of growth in him as well. He's exceptional taking on information and knowledge, knowing his roles, his line-out roles, really good defensively. So, he deserves that opportunity to keep playing.
Warren, you've clearly been working hard on all aspects of play, but the man in the middle is Romain Poit, who would always have the rubber green from the Frenchman. How have you had any discussions with him?
No, there's no discussions with the referees. And it's the same for every team as well. So look, we're very comfortable with him refereeing us. We've had him a lot, and obviously he's refereed on Lions tours as well. So I'm very familiar with him as a referee, and he's not a referee. Gets too flustered out there in the middle. A lot of experience, and I'm sure he'll do a really good job.
Warren, in your experience though, when there's a lot of attention on referees over the course of 1 week, have you seen the experience that they suddenly get more stringent in the next series again?
Probably some of the younger ones. The experienced referees, and there's a good group of experienced referees in this World Cup. They tend to take a few of those things in their stride, and it's a little bit like water off a duck's back for a couple of them. They just go and referee what they see in front of them. I know there's been some criticism of the referees, but we were happy with. There was a few decisions last week that's always going to go against you, or that weren't picked up. But we were pretty happy with Luke Pearce last week, and we're sure that Roman will do a good job as well. So we've just got to take one game at a time, and I'm sure the message from everyone is just what you want is consistency, and hopefully they're able to provide that.
Alun Wyn, what gives you confidence ahead of Sunday?
Obviously not. We're very real in the fact of we're not going to look too far back. I think that's the danger. I said during our warm-up matches that it'd be easy to look too far back and sit on those achievements in inverted commas, but we've tried things. We've held a bit back, and we've had rotation again in those warm-up games, and we came out the blocks well like we asked against Georgia. We've got another opportunity. We've got consistency in selection, and the Gats has always said that we perform when big games come around. This is, as has been said, the biggest test we have in front of us, and we won't shy away from that. And I think we've trained well, and the only thing we can ask ourselves as players is to replicate the training week, do processes. It's all very cliched, but the basic things, do all those well, and it makes everything a lot easier for the weekend.
Warren said the training intensity has gone up a notch this week. Is that something that's sort of conscious effort? You see Australia on the weekend, you say, right, let's raise it?
It is and it isn't, but I think there's been a few guys frustrated with selection, which is a good thing. That breeds competitiveness within the squad. So there was a bit of red stuff flowing yesterday, which was all well meant, because it was for the betterment of the team, and we're going to continue that with obviously a slight taper ready for our team run for Sunday. Sorry.
Warren, Michael Chaker's just said that he thinks Wales are favourites for the game. Would you agree with it?
I hope so.
Warren, have you reminded, I guess, as a Kiwi, have you reminded the players how important it is to beat Australia because of what they've done in the past, like underarm delivery and stealing our bands and horses, and also our national footy?
I don't think many of our guys know those stories. So, but personally, as a Kiwi, look, it's always nice to try and get one up over Australia, the closest rivals, obviously, and the thing about Australia as a country, that not just rugby, but what they've done in all sports and how competitive they are, and they punch massively above their weight in terms of all sports around the world. So I've got a massive amount of respect for what Australia's done and achieved in a lot of different sports. So, but it's always a nice challenge. But it just goes to show, just how modern rugby can change from 1 week to the next in terms of a team turning up, mentally right and physically right, and you saw that with the game in Perth with the All Blacks against Australia, and then the game back at Eden Park. They just so we've just got to make sure that we turn up with the right mental attitude, and we have to bring physicality to Sunday's match. That's an important aspect. Of the match for us. We've really got to be really physical against Australia. They're going to be physical against us, and we've got to match that intensity.
Warren, could you just give us your perspective on Alun Wyn and what it takes to become Wales's record appearance holder eventually?
We did that last week.
Yeah. Need a bit of luck. Yeah, look, he's look, he's a great competitor. Since he's been captain, we don't have as many fights at training because he used to start most of them because that's how competitive he was. That's why people who get to the top, they have a desire and a drive to want to be successful, and he's definitely done that. And to become Wales' record Test player with 130 caps is pretty special, and I think he'll join George Gregan as the fourth time, equal his record as the fourth highest. So hopefully there's many more to come. And one of the things about he doesn't say a lot. He just leads from the front at training and in matches, and sets a great example for the senior players, but in particular the younger players as well. So it's we're very lucky to have him in the team and captaining the side.
Warren.
Is that right?
Pay you later.
Warren, is it a nice position to be in when the opposition are picking a side to negate your threats rather than the other way around, because you've got a very settled side?
I just think it's a sign of respect. I don't think, and that's as a team how far we've come in over a number of years. That teams are looking at you, and I don't think that was always the case with Wales when they probably wouldn't even consider us any attacking threats or any threats at all. So to me it's just a sign of respect that I think we've got two good sides out there on Sunday, and hopefully it's a great game of rugby, and we can both put on a really good spectacle.
Michael Check is playing the hard done by card on this research thing. Obviously it is a big story, but what's your view on people who would say that this World Cup is going to be tarnished by incidents like that, and guys getting dumped out for extended periods over stuff that perhaps
Look, I think we've all been briefed on what the high tackles and stuff, and we had a briefing in Wales before the World Cup, how it was going to be refereed and viewed and all referred. I do feel for players in terms of you get yourself in an awkward position and you make a high tackle and you get sent off. That could cost your team the game, or you miss a few games as well. So particularly in the heat of the battle, some players get themselves caught in the wrong position or make a mistake. So we need a little bit of sympathy for some of those things, but we're continually driving that message to our players about discipline, about making sure that you stay on the right side of the referee and don't get set off. So look, obviously I do feel for Reece in terms of what's happened. You saw the incident in real time and it didn't look like much, and then you go to replays and slow it down and it looks a bit more sinister. So he's been unfortunate in terms of picking up that ban, and hopefully he will still get some more time in this World Cup.
Brilliant, thank you very much everybody.
Thank you.